Tesla has just unveiled the long-awaited, cheaper Cybertruck. Tesla just went live with a $62,000 Cybertruck, ready for order. Now, it looks to be just stripped-down version of the all-wheel drive. It's got its own specific wheels, 18-inch Goodyear Wranglers. It's got its own specific wheel covers. I don't know what they call them, but there they are. The interior definitely is a stripped-down version. Instead of vegan leather, it has this cloth textile material. They're not ventilated, and it's not cooled, but they are heated. The rest of the interior looks to be the same. I'll look around the cabin. The screen looks to be the same. It does have the ambient lighting, so they didn't strip that out. Okay, here, the A-pillar lining seems to be Alcantara still. So that's a good thing because that gives an upscale feel to the whole Cybertruck vibe. I'm looking at the exterior. The headlights are supposed to be standard, but I can't tell the difference between the standard and the ones that come on the all-wheel drive and the Beast. But from the outside, if you can see, you'll be able to see through the back. That's not because the tonneau is retracted. It does not come with a tonneau. So that is a $750 option. And it's supposed to increase the range, but when I add it and then go back up in the configurator to see, it still says 350 miles. So they haven't updated that yet or determined, if they're gonna put that calculation in. But so far we're looking at a 350 mile range. That's 25 more than the all-wheel drive. Let's take a look down, and these are the standard wheels. You can get Cyber wheels on this, 20-inch Cyber wheels on this, just like you can any variant in the Cybertruck lineup. But all you get here is this cloth, they call it textile, seat on the interior. Now, let's take a look at the features if they're any different. No. So even though this is just rear wheel drive, it's still gonna have the all-wheel steering. It's still gonna have the 6x4 foot box. But here you see no tonneau cover. So that option is completely taken out. Now let's use Tesla's side-by-side compare models sheet to see exactly what's going on. All right, so the long range, it has 350 miles. It's the longest, has the longest range of any Cybertruck. It has the quickest supercharge in 15 minutes, 147 miles. Its towing is reduced to 7,500, and its payload capacity is reduced by 500 from the all-wheel drive and 271 from the Cyber Beast. This does not have, it's got mechanical locking rear differentials. Definitely, it's just a single motor. Acceleration is 6.20 to 60. Not bad. My E420 used to go to 0 to 60 in 6.6, so that's a really good. Okay, let's see. Now, here it says that the console is standard, and the one on the all-wheel drive and the Cyber Beast are premium consoles. I don't know what that means. I could not find any information on it in the literature. And here, there's no display in the 9.4-inch display in the back. They've cut the speakers in half. They're only 7. And let's see. This is what I told you about the bed. So the bed doesn't have a power tonneau cover. It doesn't come with the L tracks. It doesn't come with the same lighting. It will not have the power outlets in the bed. So the two 120s and the cabin 120, the two cabin 120s, they're gone in that truck. And the suspension here is has to be a new system. It's an adaptive coil spring, but they've never introduced that before, so that's going to be a new setup. And then everything else is the same. So they've chopped $10,000 off the price, and like I said, with the incentives, particularly here in New York, you're looking at $61,900 for the new Cybertruck. Now, is that affordable? Hard to say. The cheapest ICE F-150 you can get starts right around, with options, is right around 50. So it's $12,000 above that, and definitely it's in line with the F-150 Lightning. But the good thing about the Lightning is it comes all-wheel drive in all variants. I couldn't find any rear-wheel drive F-150 Lightning in a configurator anywhere. So here, before the $500, is $62,490 for that truck. And I'm looking at the tail. They're saying that there's something different about it, and in this picture, it's only showing. It doesn't show a red light bar going across the way it does for the Beast and the all-wheel drive. But don't hold me to that. And here, Tesla doesn't have any incentives as far as leasing or financing. It's just the price. So let's take a look and see. I'm going to do a side-by-side. So I'm going to first look at the long range, right, in the configurator. Take a look, and then I'm going to compare it now. I'm going to check out the all-wheel drive and see if you can see a difference. And right away, you can see through the back window that it's completely dark on the all-wheel drive and the Beast, and that's because it has that power tonneau. And on the long range, you can see right through the back. And like I told you, that's a $750 option. Super expensive, but it does help in your increasing your range, so definitely a worthwhile deal. Now let's look at the inside. Let's start with the long range and look at the cloth here, and then compare it directly to the all-wheel drive, which has, look, perforated seats. They're heated, cooled. We love that perforation, that ventilation makes it look good. It's just a much more upscale look. And then back here to the long range, everything else seems to be the same. I don't see the difference in the console that they're talking about. And there, like I was telling you, the Alcantara is the same. And you're going to see, when I do the picture-to-picture, you'll see a difference, but I think it's lighting also. Yeah. Because here, look, I did the Cyber Beast, and that has the same lighting as the long range. I should do that comparison as opposed to just the all-wheel drive in the middle. But there we're going back and forth, and you'll see. So both the Beast and the all-wheel drive have aluminum pedals, and the long range just has regular rubber ones. All right, let's look on the outside again. I'm trying to see any other external tells about the difference. But aside from the tonneau, so that we can see through the back, and the different wheel treatments, it's an inch smaller. It's 18-inch wheels on the long range, and it's 19-inch standard on the all-wheel drive. But the profile looks the same. Everything else looks the same. They didn't strip anything down like that. So really it's the electrical outlets, the interior, the wheels, the tonneau, the towing capability, and cargo capacity. And if you look here, both the long range and the all-wheel drive are eligible for the $7,500 tax credit, and that brings the long range down to $7,200, which is a great price for that car. $7,200. So I'm sorry, $7,200, $72,000. That's a great price for that vehicle. All right, I'm just giving you a good look again at the wheel difference. And then that's it. So there you have it. The new, cheaper Cybertruck at $62,490 or just under 62,000 if you apply a $500 credit that's here in New York. So out the door, you are sub $62,000 for a Cybertruck. But it is definitely a stripped down version. Now, if that's worth it to you, okay. But it is definitely still $13,000 more than the $49,000 advertised price that this was going to come in at. However, given the struggles that they had with the gigacastings on the Cybertruck, making it as strong and as rigid as it is, and having those stainless steel panels having to be formed and attached to the body, that proved to be a production problem or gave them production headaches. So price definitely increased on it. But as Tesla makes more of these, it's cheaper for them to make. And there might be some wiggle room later. I think that if they had just brought this down just a little bit more to the 50s, I think that would have been a game changer. But sales, we'll just wait to see.